Pour moi, dessiner le jeu de mourir. C'est vrai? Ah bah c'est un jeu de cœur, Sarias. C'est-à-dire que je suis multigaming. J'aime découvrir plein de jeux. Mais ça reste mon plus gros coup de cœur que j'ai eu en jeu vidéo en termes d'effets quand j'y ai joué en fait. Je sais que ma licence préférée c'est Fallout. Mais du coup, on y revient avec plaisir. Bon, en vrai, c'est juste que ça avait vraiment été d'un coup, tu vois, genre. J'avais joué, comme je vous avais dit, à la toute fin de la bêta qui existait. J'avais pas du tout eu vent du jeu. Et j'ai joué en plein de mou. Et ça finissait à 3h, je crois, un truc comme ça. Et genre, j'étais là sur le cosmodrome et tout, je me suis dit, putain. Mais c'est le meilleur jeu de la Terre. Et j'avais réveillé mon chéri. Oh, je viens de jouer un truc de fou! Mec, mais c'est insane, c'est insane! Lui, il était là. Un coup de cœur, quoi. Vraiment un coup de foudre. Pas quelque chose qui se fait genre, ah, j'aime bien le jeu et tout. Ça a été vraiment comme ça. Voilà. Mais après, je me considère pas comme Only Destiny, loin de là. Ouais, j'aime tous les jeux. Sauf le versus. Ce serait dommage de se limiter. Bonne année. J'avais pas compris pourquoi vous disiez ça. Qui sont bêtes. N'importe quoi. Ah, bah ils nous remettent le trailer du coup. C'est parti, on va regarder juste avant.
When you slew the undying mind, you changed the course of history. Now time is broken on Mercury, fractured by the Legion.
Ah, j'aime trop ces scènes en noir et blanc.
To write a new history, a new ending to the Red War. If you're willing to help, you'll need to walk the corridors of time. And you'll need my sundial to do it. I built it so that an ally of mine could cheat death. I failed to help him, and his death remains my greatest regret.
Damn.
They call me the greatest titan who ever lived.
Ah, il est beaucoup mieux en VO. Ouh là là. Beaucoup mieux ça va en VO. Hein. J'avais déjà regardé hein, en VO, mais comme on vient de regarder AVF justement, que je n'avais pas regardé. J'ai la comparaison directe. Ouais, globalement, on est d'accord. Après, moi, je mets le jeu en français pour... parce que j'ai un public français. Ce serait pas très cool. Le 10 décembre, mardi prochain.
Hello and welcome to a Bungie
On sera
live
dessus, bien
stream.
entendu,
We
en
are here
live.
to take a look at Season of Dawn. I'm Deej, I'll be your host, and I'm joined on set by two developers who have led our development team in the creation of this new story that we'll be telling. And how are you today?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Rachel and Jonathan, do me a favor, introduce yourself to our community by talking a little bit about what you do at Bungie and what was your unique and personal contribution to Season of Dawn.
I'm a producer on Vanguard Omega. I helped lead all the different disciplines and create this really cool experience.
Jeu de fin.
And I was the narrative lead on the season. I collaborated with design and art to help bring you guys the
Qui fait
story
les scénarios?
of Saint 14's big return.
Very colorful today.
Jeu de fin.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for noticing. It's a lion, and it is meant to remind me that a lion doesn't try to be fierce. It just is, just like Saint 14.
That wasn't
That's
rehearsed
not
at
a
all.
joke.
No, and it wasn't. It wasn't rehearsed either. It was very extemporaneous. Regarding Saint 14, the past 24
J'allais dire, un
hours
lion
have
n'essaye
seen
pas
a
d'être
great
fier,
deal of Saint
il est
14
fier.
hype, I guess we would have to say.
Yes.
And as developers, as creators, what has been your own personal response
Comme
to their
114.
reaction to the Season of Dawn reveal trailer?
I spent most of the night watching all of the reactions to the trailers. It was probably my favorite part of the evening with my fiance. We just sat there and watched as people tried to speculate what was going to be
Mais non,
happening.
pas
through
fier,
the season.
féroce. Féroce.
Professor Brumman was probably my favorite reaction so far.
Yes,
There was
yes.
a lot of cursing.
It was a little bit of cursing, a little
Elle
bit
est
of curse
contente des
words, but that
réactions,
enthusiasm, those
Ouais, j'ai
real-time
dit,
reactions,
c'est féroce, pas fier.
those visceral reactions to the things that we work so hard on. I mean, is that not the best moment as a developer? Is when you create something, to see someone respond to
Bon,
it, to
là,
see
c'est du
someone
blabla, hein, je vais
experience
pas
it for the
vous-
first time. That's why we do it, right?
Absolutely, and I totally
Vous êtes
get
content?
the fan
Ah,
experience.
bien.
I was a fan during Vanilla Destiny 1 when I was just a player. I was a fan of Saint 14's character back when he was just a grimoire story and a helm. It's been an honor and a privilege to help bring a deep lore
Il est
character
content
like Saint
d'avoir,
14 to the forefront
travaillé,
of the player experience
sur
in
114
Destiny.
pour le rendre
It's
un
too
vrai
bad he's
personnage
dead
et pas
right
juste
now,
une
and
histoire.
the players are going to have to pull a miracle out of their butts to save him, but they've done it before, so maybe they can do it again.
Maybe. If anyone can, our community can. As somebody who has taken that deep lore character and given them new life, talk to me about how you relate personally to the character of Saint 14.
So Saint is probably the most lawful good character that we've ever created.
C'est le mec le plus loyal et
he
bon
loves
de l'univers de
pigeons.
Destiny.
He loves pigeons so much that he's named his ship after them. He's very large. He's very wholesome.
Yes.
And sometimes that gets him into trouble, like the time that he died.
Mais du coup,
Quite
ça le conduit à
literally
des
the sense in
mauvaises
that case.
situations.
Virtuous character, the sacrifice.
He's in trouble right now,
Parce qu'il est
guys.
tout le temps gentil.
He needs your help.
Okay, so that
C'est un bon héros.
help will be on the way on December 10th when Season of
Absolutely.
Dawn begins, less than a week away now. So there's a lot of anticipation, there's a lot of excitement. Rachel, give us a sense, we start with an idea. We decide on a story that we want to tell. As a producer, you're sort of bringing all these disciplines together into one creative process. How did everybody sort of share that inspiration and that motivation in doing all of the
Producteur,
work
c'est un
that
peu
makes
chef
it
de
possible?
projet, les
I
gens.
mean, it really wasn't hard to bring people together in this case. John and all the writers on the seasonal team have really inspired a lot of the team and how we actually go about building the season. Though that passion is super inspiring.
Was it Nico, Christine, and Paul? You
Yeah.
guys were amazing.
They were all really amazing, and he helped really inspire how we built the season and influence what the actual season was. People brainstormed together. We built the season as a team, collaboratively, just like we built everything in Destiny together. It
un
was
travail d'équipe,
definitely
comme
a really
d'habitude.
cool collaboration and cooperation
C'est
for
cool.
everybody.
Elle aime
I
ses
want to share
collègues.
a piece of art that I think a lot of people in the team have a lot of heart for. And this piece of art really encapsulates the mood that we've created with Season of Dawn. This is the idea that we've all come together to
Un fond
embrace.
d'écran, les gens.
Jonathan, what can you tell us about the themes and the ideas that are captured in this beautiful piece of artwork? And programming note, we will release this on social media imminently. So that
pouvez le
if
retrouver
you
sur,
would like to make this your
Twitter.
wallpaper or what have you,
Si vous voulez en faire un
you
fond
don't need
d'écran.
to go screenshotting right now. You only need to go and consult our Twitter channels. But talk to us from a creative standpoint as to what this speaks to you about.
For sure. So besides being an awesome piece of art, all of that gear that you saw there belonged to Saint 14. The piece, though, is not about the gear itself. The piece, to me, is about Saint's absence, and perhaps even how Osiris feels about Saint's absence.
Ça représente l'absence de 114 pour Osiris.
It's been with us since the very first version of Destiny, and it's synonymous with Saint as a character. The shotgun is it's called the Perfect Paradox. It is Saint's signature weapon. It was forged by our players way back in the Curse of Osiris expansion, and I wrote the lore tab for that weapon that happened to insinuate that players would perhaps one day be able to bring that weapon back to Saint 14. There's a huge problem right now, though, because he's dead. He's still dead.
Le problème, c'est que 114 est mort. Parce qu'il dit on pourrait amener le fusil à pompe à 114, mais il est mort.
Saint back his weapon. The ribbons that you saw there as well, Saint brought those with him everywhere. There's more to their story than just armor ornamentation, though, and we'll get more into that as our story progresses.
Wonderful. New mysteries to discover, new challenges to overcome, new miracles to pull out of. We don't need to revisit that line of dialogue again. Thank you so much for the work that you've done to create this moment of excitement for our community. People are really looking forward to embarking on this new journey, and that happens on Tuesday.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah. So telling a new story with Season of Dawn is just one of the things that we're doing. Let's take a look at everything else that we have planned for the months and weeks to come. As is customary and typical, we like to release a calendar of all of the events. If you are screenshotting, if you are squinting to read the fine print, this is also going out on social media. Many different reasons to engage with Destiny, many different awesome things to add to your collection, special events to recognize
et le
the
Season Pass, c'est pareil, ça vous
exotic
montre bien
weapons
ce qui
that
est
you can go on a quest to
payant et ce qui ne l'est
earn,
pas.
Crimson Days, celebrating, the love between members of our community, etc., and so on. So, with that, please do consult our social media channels. And look at this, we have two more developers in our hot seats. Robbie, Tomo, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
We're going to have a conversation now about how the beginning of one season on the tail end of the end of another really will have an opportunity to change the game. Before we jump into that conversation, give our audience an idea as to, for yourselves, what you do at Bungie and what was your unique fingerprint on Season of Dawn.
So I'm a creative lead at Bungie, which means I'm the one who is kind of the vision holder for the seasons we're working on. And I basically work with the team in a collaborative manner to collect the best ideas and work on those ideas with everyone to bring them to life in the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Tomo.
Yeah, I'm the combat air lead here at Bungie. Part of the systems team, and so something that we like one of our mandates is to make sure that we're continuously updating, keeping it fresh, keeping it engaging for players, and so definitely trying to do that again with Season of Dawn.
Yeah, creating the action.
Yep.
In that moment when we finally get to play, we can feel your work. All right, that's wonderful. Robbie, Season of the Undying is coming to an end. Season of Dawn begins. This is going to be a different feel for our community than it was last year when we went from one season to the next. Can you give me a sense of how our goals are changing there? I know that
le passage d'une saison à l'autre va être différent d'avant.
Previously in Bungie Media, talking about the fact that we're trying to build something that lives, right? So talk to me about how the beginning of this season really is a realization of those goals.
So something we're really trying to do is take the triumphs, take the victories, and maybe even sometimes the failures that you experience as a player when you're in these seasons, and have them directly connect and evolve in the stories that we're telling moving forward. And so, basically the community is actively stopping the Undying Mind right now and stopping the Vex threat from the Black Garden. And during this time, Osiris is in the Infinite Forest, and he sees this timeline that the Guardians are on, and he sees calamity. And so that's why he's leaving
Osiris
the
nous
Infinite
voit
Forest.
en train de nous occuper des
Your
Vex.
actions as a player are directly propelling us into the next season. And if you think about how we used to build
Là où avant c'était
our
séparé dans les
campaigns,
saisons.
right? Like that would be an experience that you would play once at the beginning of the year. It would be finite and it would end quickly. And really what we're trying to do is kind of take that experience of the world changing, of the world evolving, of your actions having meaningful impact
Ils veulent que ce soit un monde en évolution, où nos actions ont un impact sur la suite des saisons, etc.
And I think if we look back at Season of the Forge, Season of the Drifter, Opulence, they were these self-contained, very specific experiences that didn't relate to each other all that much. But now there's this through line, there's this persistent narrative, and as you do these awesome things in Destiny, as you conquer your foes, you leave
a lasting impact.
A lasting impact, and you impact the way the story gets told and the way the story evolves.
And so I think something also interesting that we get to do is we actually actively get to see how people are actually reacting to the stories that they're experiencing as well. And as we're developing the future seasons as well, we're thinking about that, and we're thinking about the things that they like and they dislike as well, which is different than what we've been able to do
les retours de la communauté en compte.
So in any moment of gameplay or discovery, you're putting the pieces on the board that you can pay off later.
Yes, and I mean, it's something like John was mentioning before, that we had something in Deep Lore, right, from years ago, and I think what we're seeing now is a game where we can actually, players can actually initiate things happening, and we actually get to react to them faster. There's going to be a lot less of the, like, oh, there's something in lore that we never talk about, and it's going to be a lot more of, like, okay, we say something at one point in the season, and we really want to try to react to it within a shorter time period, really. Okay. So.
Well, we've had a lot of talk so far about ideas and feelings and goals and ideas. Let's actually take a look at the game tonight. Show us how we can configure a hunter for ideal combat conditions in Season of Dawn. This may be what your character looks like on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I look freaking awesome. I'm a hunter. That's step one, of course.
Yes.
But also, like Robbie said, like, even through our combat and like the action game, we want it to feel like you're evolving. Your guardian, your setup, your monster killing machine, that is evolving season over season. One of the ways we're doing that, of course, is as some of you might have read on our weekly updates, we have a solar subclass update coming with Season of Dawn. But on top of that, season over season, we're injecting new ways to play when it comes to like the artifact, changing up the mods there. So I'll dive in there real quickly. As you can see, last season it was the Gate Lord's Eye. This season it's called the Lantern of Osiris. Osiris and 14 are two main storylines, and so this is part of a storyline that will evolve over the course of this season, and you'll understand like where this kind of falls into place. We've also changed up a little bit of the artifact in the way like we have our mods laid out. As you can notice, we have in our first column here now, we have our champion mods. Because the artifact resets at the end of the season, you're going to get a new one. We want to make sure that this is something that you can acquire pretty early on. These are going to be for different weapon archetypes from what you're used to in the past, and these will help you overcome. And
du coup là, c'est dans la première colonne les changements pour les champions.
The champions that we have for the Cabal.
This is your perfect weapon for the new combat conditions. As you go into the Sundial, which we will be playing in a matter of moments, this is going to really play into how you can perfectly configure your character to confront those new challenges.
Exactly. You know? And this upcoming season, we're focusing more on the long-range combat, precision shooting, and I'm sure Guardians have noticed that last season it was focused more heavily on Arc and Void. This upcoming season, because we did the Solar subclass update as well, we're going to be focusing heavily on Solar and Void as our secondary element. Okay. So here's a couple that I've selected for myself. I personally really like pulse rifles and scout rifles and stuff like that, so I've grabbed a couple of those. As well as in the second column here, our Guardians probably remember from this past season, all of them were reloader mods. We've actually mixed it up, so now you can also get unflinching for certain weapon archetypes, as well as enhanced targeting. And then we've also added a couple new mods that players haven't seen yet. My personal favorite that I'm looking forward to using is this one called Guardian Angel. This allows you to get a chance of a healing orb to drop if you get a precision kill. And you have to use one of the precision weapons that is in meta for this.
On a une chance de générer des orbes qui soignent.
And then let's take a look at configuring your character. Armor 2.0 was something that people delved into for the first time at the beginning of last season, and I understand it's evolving in this season.
It is. So the rewards team did an awesome job of giving us Armor 2.0, but Armor 2.0 by itself isn't the end of it. Like they're continuing to enhance the experience. And something they might notice is any piece of gear that you acquired during Season of Dawn now has a different symbol in their fourth mod slot here. Instead of having the Vex symbol
Bien
for
sûr, c'est plus le même symbole à la fin,
signifying the
puisque
last
c'est plus
season.
l'évêque,
We
ça.
now have a new symbol for Season of Dawn. And over the course of the season, through various activities within the season, you'll be able to acquire new mods that you haven't seen before. And these mods now have like a new mechanic that is called Charge with Light. And when you're charged with light, you actually get these benefits. So there's certain mods that allow you to get charges of light, and then there's certain mods that allow you to consume charge of light. And this becomes like this new gameplay engine that actually works throughout the entirety of Destiny now.
On est chargé en lumière avec certaines actions.
Or just for the raid, so we're pretty excited for that.
Et quand on est chargé en lumière,
Fantastic.
on a certaines autres actions.
All right, what else you got for us? What else is
Certaines
new?
autres choses qui peuvent se passer.
Since I'm a hunter and I want to look cool, finishers
Là,
are also
par
a great
exemple,
way to
pour
look cool.
charger
So we're going to go
en
down
lumière, il
to
fallait
the
qu'il
finisher
détruise un
blade,
shield avec la
and players
bonne,
might notice here that now you don't have just a single finisher icon here, so, signifying that that is what you have equipped. Instead, now we have a new multi-equip feature. On systems, we want to continue to evolve our features and continue to make the experience better for our players. And so what multi-equip does is more or less like a playlist for your finishers. And you can have up to 9 in your bucket here, and then you can actually just do like a right thumbstick click, and then you can favorite them, and you see that little star next to that where it says legendary.
Yeah.
And then that allows you to actually then have those randomly be selected when you're doing finishers in the game.
Ok, on en sélectionne plusieurs, jusqu'à 9.
Yeah, two of your favorites?
Doubling
Et
to
on
say,
a
since Saint 14's coming back, everyone's gonna love this.
Du
one.
coup, c'est aléatoire entre ceux que
You
vous
gotta
avez
get that
sélectionnés,
head bash.
les finishers.
And how can we earn that one?
This one I believe is on the season's pass. So
Yes. Yeah, it's on the season
yeah,
pass.
as long as you get the season's pass and you're playing the game, then you'll be able to earn
Celui-ci
this
dans le
fairly
season pass,
Wonderful.
selon
And
ce
then
qui
you
se
also
rappelle.
have other ones
Cool.
that are going to be in the Eververse store. My personal favorite is this one here. Love that one.
All right, so it's easy to do this to a sweeper bot tackle dummy, but why don't you give us
Il
a
était dans le
taste of how
trailer,
this
le
stuff
football.
actually looks in the wild?
Definitely. So
And for that, we
we're
take
on Mercury
you live
here.
to Mercury, and
It's a sparrow.
It is.
Sparrows on Mercury.
passereaux
Let's see your
sur
parkour
Mercure.
skills. Can you stick the landing? Can you stick the landing?
Nailed it.
Beautiful. Stuck that landing too. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Oh,
you're far too
I'm
lethal.
too
Oh, c'est bien d'avoir
Just
les
too
différents
good
finishes.
for our own good. All right,
C'est
seeking
dommage de
targets.
choisir ce qui sont tous cool. Ou c'est complètement cosmétique. Hein, mais...
Shoot him in the kneecap.
You need
Et vous voyez
that
là,
for
du coup,
that
ça
guy.
en a mis un autre parmi tous ceux qu'il avait à dispo.
Come on.
Bah, t'es
With
pas
this
rendu là,
stuff,
mec.
Dan. You want some of this?
Yeah,
You can
he
have
does.
some. Wonderful. All right, that all looks great. So, changes afoot. New stories, new artifact, new combat meta. Obviously, when we're telling a new story and we have new media out there, we love to watch their reactions. But when we change the way they fight, there's obviously reactions there as well.
Yeah, so I think we've talked a lot about the combat, we've talked a lot about Mercury, and you guys are going to see the sundials soon. And I think something to think about and understand for the season is that there's going to be a lot more than just Mercury, than just the combat, right? Like you're going to be asked to go throughout the solar system, go to Tangled Shore, go to destinations that you haven't been to in a while, to basically help stop this new Cabal threat. That's
On va pas juste aller sur Mercure.
And, you know, as you guys are actively playing the season and you're reacting to it, we're going to be listening, we're going to be watching, and we're going to be thinking of how we can integrate the things that you care about, you like or dislike, into our future season development. And it's something that we think about a lot and we try to pay attention to a lot. So, yeah.
New PvP maps.
Yep, we got Rusted Lands coming back.
Rusted Lands is coming back.
Yep.
So, you know, for every type of player of Destiny, you're already...
I'm ready.
Yeah, and Rusted Lands is certainly near and dear to our hearts because that's really where the Destiny sandbox was born. A lot of our earliest iterations on the way Guardians move and the way they fight come off of that map, and that's you know, a wonderful place to send our community back to. So if you're a fan of the Crucible, there's also new things to engage with, something for everyone. Yep. And of course, we will be watching, we'll be listening, and this conversation will continue.
Moi j'aime bien.
I think, we're being extremely interactive with how we react to the players these days.
We're trying, yeah.
The developers are reacting, the game is reacting, even the characters in the world are reacting.
Pas en
So
jugement, ceci
we'll
étant.
continue that rolling.
Indeed.
All right. Thank you so much. I think it's time now to see the sundial in action. And for that, we need to introduce you to the fire team that we have assembled right here, live on set. And welcome to the show, Cosmo.
Hey, Deej.
Thanks for bringing together a group of people to take on the Cabal in this new activity. Who do you have assembled in your fighting party today?
Well, we're ready to go. To my left is Alexandra from the player support team. To my right is Eric, who is an investment test engineer, works on Season of Dawn. And then across from me is Doug, who is an animator, works on a lot of the emotes that you see. Mitch is another investment test engineer, and then John is a test engineer.
Exactement,
ready to go and take on the Sundial.
Well, you all look fabulous, but show me your guardians. Let's take a look at how you are dressed for the occasion. Look at that. Lots of new gear to add to your collections. Using our developer tools, we can have this God's Eye floating through the space. You can see the gear that every player of Destiny 2 can earn as part of Season of Dawn. And then if you're a holder of the Season Pass, obviously in the premium track, you can earn these ornaments.
Ok, donc ça c'est la version payante des ornements. Et l'autre côté c'est le truc gratuit.
Everyone's a knight in shining armor, and can't wait to make my warlock look that unflinchingly noble. So thanks for the preview. Before we actually activate the activity, I would like to introduce you to two more developers who have braved the hot seats. I'm here with Tim and Matt, and you guys worked to actually create this new activity and refresh the destinations. But in your own words, please tell our audience what your contribution was to Season of Dawn.
Personally, I was responsible for doing a lot of the visual effects and stuff like that. But like with our team, like we're able to collaborate all together to build this like beautiful experience. And without the help of Matt, like we were able to build something really engaging as well.
I am an activities designer, and with the help of Antim, we were able to make a really cool experience for you.
C'est celle du Season Pass payant, Eva. Celui que tu as si tu as pris la version avec toutes les saisons, ou celui tu as en achetant la saison si la saison t'intéresse.
That's really what it comes down to, doesn't it?
That's right. We've always been at war with it.
Whether we wanted it or not. Whether we wanted it or not.
C'est la deuxième ligne du Season Pass.
So let's go ahead and check in with our fire team. We're going to lay down some developer commentary while they shoot those things in the face. Cosmo, you are prepared to begin this activity. First thing that we can notice here is that we have a new landing zone for the Sundial. And talk to me a little bit about the inspirations and the design motivations that went into breathing some new life into Mercury.
In Mercury, like we had this really good opportunity from narrative to like really clash all these different timelines. You got like past, you got present, you got future, and like as artists, like we wanted to like see all these assets again. So like we just like figure out how to make this like as epic and as beautiful as possible. And then like suddenly we had the idea like, what if we just put all of them all together? And it was daunting. It was really scary because like there's a lot of technical challenges. We had to like go around with like lighting.
Vous avez vu, charge une jauge en 3 ennemis, j'ai l'impression.
Over and over again to like make sure they actually got it all working with these giant time walls and everything. But in the end, like it was worth it. Like I'm really proud of the work we were able to do.
So we're going to be fighting our way up this slope here. Matt, the sundial is sort of emerging in the distance. This is Osiris's device that he can use to sort of control the corridors of time, all the alternate realities. What were some of the themes and what were some of the different motivations that we embraced as we created this new action for the player?
Once we learned where we were going on the narrative front, Jonto, I'm so sorry, but it was obviously time cops stopping time crimes.
Time cops stopping time crimes.
And yeah, you can see players here. They just engaged with one of our new Cabal champions.
Ok, c'était juste pour rentrer en gros.
Is this enormous device.
Thanks.
What were some of the different inspirations for creating this new structure? It's pretty daunting.
So for Sundial, like we had to make this crazy time machine. Like it's super dangerous, like it's trying to borrow a lot from this like Vex tech, and then like Osiris, this mystical arcane person's like, I got an idea, and he's built this crazy thing. So like we had to mix like a lot of these structures of like this really cool visual effects language that we have for Vex, a lot of grids and stuff, and then try to immerse like some of the really like instrumental like technical stuff that Osiris has, which is like more inspired from the 18th century like nautical instruments and stuff. And then like we just built it, and like it looks great. I love it.
So like we have set up in other activities, that was a totem they just interacted with, and it started the encounter.
Donc il y a un compteur.
It looks like they're in the future encounter here.
I love this one.
So they step through an aperture into a different alternate reality, into a different timeline. And
this is what could come to pass.
Pardon me?
This is what could come to pass.
What could come to pass if we are not victorious. And when they activate this activity and they step through that window, they're not entirely certain what they're going to get. Like this can be different combinations of timelines. It's going to be different every time they access the activity, yeah?
Yes,
Ah,
and
j'ai enlevé son
activity
shield.
bosses will evolve. They will, week to week, they'll roll out.
Vous aimez bien le petit pistolet?
And there's some surprises I really wish I could talk about, but
Donc, faut récupérer les boulettes pour lui enlever son shield.
You know, as the season rolls on.
And to your point, yeah, week over week, there will be different bosses for them to face at the end of this activity. Our enemies have some tricks up their sleeves that will be revealed and understood over time. So your first experience with the sundial will certainly not be like your last experience with the sundial, and it'll be a varied experience. So,
and the activity
Super,
can't.
Parce que ça manquait vraiment sur la saison d'Evex. Pour faire taper tout le temps le même boss.
Especially UD. They'll still be able to complete the activity.
What?
Bah si, comme à chaque fois, maintenant. Il n'y a pas de raison qu'il n'y ait pas de puissance.
One of the goals for when we set this up
J'imagine qu'il y aura
it's not
un
a
de
traditional
puissance.
board mode. There are mechanics in here, and you'll find that there's a lot of different strategies you can incorporate in order to get through the activity and earn your rewards as fast as possible.
Yeah, okay.
And when hard mode comes out, you're gonna want to bring some friends that.
Il était à 160. Oui, après c'est parce qu'ils je sais pas. Peut-être il y a pas, peut-être il y a, je sais. C'est pas vraiment ce qui nous intéresse.
The sundial is a 6-player match-made activity.
Correct.
I can bring a pre-made 6-player fire team if I want. Obviously, a team that can communicate with each other and coordinate with each other can complete this activity more efficiently, more quickly, get to that loot at the end. But in terms of hard mode, that does require a pre-made fire team.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to set those expectations appropriately for our community. We got some big bad bosses here.
Il y a pas de matchmaking? C'est ça qu'il a dit?
Champions.
One of the big challenges you have to figure out for this particular encounter is that like we have to like
c'est le démarrage
this ball like creates this giant laser and stuff.
De chaque nouveau contenu.
I'm so glad we got that in there. But like one of the difficulties is that you're looking at this really bright skybox, and we had to make a laser like be brighter than the sun when you're on Mercury, and that was a challenge. I'm glad we got it working, but like gosh, we had to iterate a lot on that one.
Il a demandé s'il y avait du pre-made.
So talk to me about what the players are doing right now. They're picking up these charges. How exactly are they using these to overcome the tactical conditions here?
So in this possible future, the Cabal have won. They've learned to potentially weaponize the light, and they have all their ships just in orbit, you know. And you're basically, you know, thematically, you're just basically saying, stop hitting yourself. You're throwing their kind of beacons. He's like, when we were really in production, I went up to John, I'm like, can we get a line that says,
ouais, ce serait bête. Je sais pas, ça va vérifier du coup. J'arrive pas à écouter, on était en train de parler complètement de choses.
There might be a random chance, guys. I don't know, but it entertaining, really.
C'est pas facile de parler en écoutant.
Hey, you know, we got this prototype working. I saw it, I was like, my gosh, how are we gonna pull this off?
I'm gonna blow up the whole goddamn world with this thing. That's the power of fantasy here.
The sundial itself, it looks like a very dangerous thing. It looks like the type of thing that your mother would tell you not to play on. And here we're sending 6 people up on that thing to play with time. What were some of the different discoveries that you make along the way with the sundial specifically?
Make friends. I'm just kidding.
It was kind of humbling.
C'est juste le mode arme.
It was a great exercise in user experience because you spend all this time building encounters, building mechanics, and tweaking things, iterating, and the most fun that we had in playtest, and we were noticing is these just like killing themselves. They really just like to entertain themselves by just being murdered over and over and over again. So the sundial, it probably has some design flaws. Osiris, you know, he was just kind of
a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature.
Yeah, there they go.
In some timelines they die, in some timelines they make it, you know? You can't control time.
Yeah. Well, we encourage you all to be very careful as you play on the sundial. That's the end of the first encounter, and there are several more encounters that would lead to the final boss. We will unveil different final bosses week over week, and
Donc c'était la première
that's as far as
rencontre.
we're going to go with all this today.
Et il y en a
So we've
plusieurs
given
jusqu'au
you a
boss.
taste of the new action,
Ça, une activité
the
quand même.
conditions, what's at stake, what you have to fight with. New champions will require a new artifact. Anything else you want to call out? No,
just the whole team. The whole team that worked on this they just brought it.
Yeah.
So I'm super proud of everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for all your hard work. Everyone at Bungie who worked on this. Pats on the back for everybody. Lots of love in this room.
Déjà, ça a l'air
If you're sitting
mieux
in chat, hoping
que
for
l'activité
another,
Vex. En même temps,
2 tokens
difficile
and a
de
blue
faire
moment, we're here to rewrite history.
À mon
So
sens.
what we're going to do is we're going to enable you to discover the rewards and how all that works. The first loot drops will be for you to earn. Season of Dawn begins on December 10th. And, John Toe, one thing we didn't cover is that you have written a number of different chapters of lore. And we're going to be sharing those on Bungie.net. So if you'd like to read about the stories that we're telling before you start to experience them in the game, starting at the end of this stream, we're going to publish our first chapter of pre-launch web lore to the Bungie blog. Go check it out. And we're going to have another one to publish every day between now and launch.
Chaque jour
So on
un
Tuesday, the
chapitre.
weekly reset will
C'est bien.
change the game more than it does on your standard week. We're really looking forward to you playing Season of Dawn. We thank you very much for tuning into this live stream. No matter which platform, no matter which channel you're using to watch us, we do love getting the community together to receive some new news, and we can't wait to see you again on Mercury. Please watch your step. It's a dangerous place. I'm Deej. Thanks to all of the developers who played the new activity or talked about their work sitting in the hot seats. This is the end of our show for today.
You've been busy, Guardian.
Eh bien écoutez, on va découvrir ça mardi en live. Je vous rappelle qu'on sera en live sans doute avec communauté mini comme d'habitude. Sauf contre-indication involontaire. Oui. Après, il n'y a pas besoin que ça dure des heures. Moi, je trouve ça bien de montrer comme ça. C'est bien comme durer 40 minutes de live. Je trouve ça très bien. Je suis contente qu'on retourne dans les versions alternatives de Mercure. Ça avait été complètement sous-exploité. 114, j'ai vraiment hâte de voir à quel point son lore va être dense, les missions qu'on peut avoir avec lui, etc. Parce que Eris, c'était vraiment bien. Moi, j'ai bien aimé chaque semaine qu'il y ait les missions avec ses teammates, à chaque fois. Et on avait du lore et tout à chaque semaine. Ça, c'était cool. J'espère qu'ils vont du coup faire quelque chose d'aussi dense. Et pas juste 2-3 missions et c'est fini pour la saison. Bon, après, c'était Bastion des Ombres, c'était pas une saison, donc faut voir. Mais j'espère qu'on le verra assez, quoi. L'activité a l'air mieux que celle de l'autre saison, donc ça c'est cool. Avoir les loots, avoir l'aléatoire effectivement des armes, voir ce qu'il y a à grind finalement. Parce que là comme ça sur le papier c'est intéressant. Après ça va être la densité de ce qu'il y a à obtenir, etc. à looter. Aussi le fait que chaque semaine on nous amène du neuf. Faut espérer. Il y a toujours le season pass à grind quand même, et ça c'est forcément en soi un objectif que j'aime bien personnellement. Je trouve ça sympa. À voir la suite. Et puis vous avez quand même le planning qu'ils ont montré. Où bien sûr il y a des choses de prévues. Hop. Tac. Je laisse comme ça. Du coup, qu'est-ce que vous en avez pensé, vous? Vous montrez ce qu'il fallait, c'était une présentation de l'activité. Ouais, ça c'était bien, je trouve que ça rassure sur l'activité. Ça me tente de voir ce que ça va donner. Bon, puis je préfère d'ailleurs le design des... Peut-être que du coup c'est dans cette activité qu'on va relooter les armes de Mercure. Donc j'aime beaucoup le design par rapport aux armes feuillues là, des Vex. Il y avait des trucs sympas quand même, mais ça me semble cool ensemble. Calendrier rassurant. Le calendrier, oui, toujours bien sûr. Une bonne chose, on est d'accord. Clair et rapide. Si t'as acheté, je pense que je vais le faire. C'était une bonne petite présentation. Moi, comme je vous dis, hâte de voir ce que ça va donner sur 114. Et quelles vont être un peu les surprises, finalement, de mardi. Et on sera donc, bien entendu, en live. Je vais vous mettre ça en rediffusion sur YouTube, ce qu'on vient de faire, là, d'en parler ensemble de ce qui se passait. Y a pas de prétention hein, dans mon espèce de commentary que je fais quand on suit ça. Je peux donner des infos qui vont peut-être être à corriger. Hein, ça se trouve, dans 15 minutes, je vais me dire « Ah oui, non, mais c'est ça, en fait, qu'ils ont dit », ou des trucs comme ça. Donc bien sûr, ça va prendre, voilà, comme du direct, comme on réagit ensemble, dans la commu, tous ensemble, et du coup il y a des termes, etc. Voilà. Pas de soucis, n'hésitez pas à donner aussi des infos si on a des supplémentaires en commentaire du coup de la vidéo YouTube qu'il y aura. Et nous ici on va se retrouver sous peu, à 21h, je pars en live du coup avec Arthéon sur Darksider Genesis qui sort demain. Mais j'ai eu une avant-première, et j'ai donc choisi le beau poteau Arthéon pour m'accompagner dans cette aventure. Voilà, voilà.